Hello, Wanderers. Welcome to the latest episode of our Stjarna series playthrough. As always, I am your host, Stray. And if you will remember from the last episode, we have recently converted to the Catholic faith, and that means that we now take the Pope as the highest religious authority in the land, spiritually speaking, that is. And even though we are new to the faith, this is very important to us. Now, we shall take a look at the Pope because he is a very interesting figure. He is only 21 years old. Now, I don't know if this is something that's going on with the game because it's buggy, or if this happens normally. I actually don't know that for sure. There's definitely some buggy things going on with the coat of arms here. But we have a 21-year-old Pope. He is actually the son of, or the grandson of King Rostislav of Great Moravia, which is interesting. And historically, many popes did come from very well-off and influential families. His own father was not a king, however. His mother was the princess of Great Moravia, he himself being a bastard child, and his brother now captain of the Free Lances of Velehrad. So a very interesting Pope here. We can see that he is stubborn, he is honest, he is paranoid, he's not particularly good at his job, and he is irritable. So obviously he is just kind of banking on his lineage here to gain his position as the Pope. So that is quite interesting, and we shall be keeping an eye on the Pope to see what he does. He may be the Pope for a very, very long time, 21 years old. If anybody knows in the comments, how old was the youngest Pope ever? Because I feel like there's always been some rules about the age of the Pope, but I vaguely recall that sometimes that did not actually be held to as much as they maybe would have liked. So yeah, if you know that, let me know in the comments down below. The youngest Pope ever in history. Who was that? But anyways, we shall be keeping an eye on him. As you can see, we have done a little bit of customization to Satordi here. He has recently converted over to Catholicism, obviously, and is trying to ingratiate himself more with the people to the north in Aquitaine, and thus he has actually trimmed his beard, trimmed his hair, and he is looking quite dapper, I do say. He's kind of taken on a little bit more of that Western European look to himself in order to fit in more among the courts of this land. Which is very important because we do want to go to visit Aquitaine and make an alliance with our nephew cousin brother-in-law, King Simon of Aquitaine, which now that we have converted over to Catholicism, he will accept this. He has accepted us as our cousin. He still doesn't really like us, I think. But I think that he, much like the King of France with the Vikings of Rollo in Normandy historically, I think he sees us, he sees our Viking warriors, he sees the threat to his south. As you can see, Al-Sark and the Muslim rulers of the south have pushed into France here, not to mention a very large Sardinia and West Francia, obviously threatening him. So he would see us as kind of an advantageous ally. So he might not like us, but he will accept our alliance, and we're going to accept that alliance too, because we do have some pretty significant threats. Asturias, and obviously Al-Sark, Al-Andalus. These places could be very threatening to us in the long run. So we are going to accept that alliance. A few things that happened in between the episodes. We have actually granted our good servant Yakliel, the Radhanite, who actually was, I believe, Jewish before this, but has now converted to Catholicism as well. He has been granted the city of Tafala. Hopefully his wife, she's 33, but she may still potentially get pregnant. It would be very cool if he continued his lineage. He is 63 years old, so I'm not banking on that happening, but we can hope. And of course, you will remember that we married our sister to Gretier, our good friend, and no doubt that they will have themselves hopefully a long lineage of children as well. If we can find a chance to get Gretier some land, we will absolutely do so. But to that effect, we are going to let time run. We have lost the trait Pilgrim because we converted to Catholicism, so we haven't done any Catholic pilgrimages, so that is as it is. But here we have my dear uncle / cousin / brother-in-law. I am honored by your request. I would be glad to call you an ally. Signed, King Simon of Aquitaine. This is excellent news. Obviously, King Simon, he is just. We can get along with him for that. He's shy, he's temperate. He's actually not a bad guy, but he is reclusive, club-footed. He's quick as well. King Simon, he's not a bad guy, actually. I think we would reasonably not really have any ill will towards our nephew cousin here. His children, though, well, yeah, twins, and they are both, I do believe they are both inbred. Yeah, so I don't know if we're going to be marrying our children off to his, because that would just be getting a little bit too inbred, unfortunately, for us, because cementing that alliance would be nice, but it is what it is. As you can see, our spouse is acting on our behalf. My wife spends a significant amount of time traveling the realm with her honor guard. There are many matters she can settle on my behalf, and the military presence Chiefess Oneka brings with her is a firm reminder of my right to rule. I love how this fits in with Oneka's story as being part of the Basque society that was here in Ipuzkoa before we came, and now she is kind of using that and her elevated position to our advantage. So yeah, we are going to get some prestige from that. As you can see here, we do still have all of our retinues, the Bondi, the Huskarls, the Metzan Vartia, and the Varangian veterans. And that is probably a big part of our alliance with Aquitaine, is just the fact that we have these powerful Nordvina warriors with which we can protect this kind of southern spot here. This is a very important place for Aquitaine to be able to defend. Asturias and the Muslim lords here obviously would want to advance through the Pyrenees and potentially try to attack it. And what is this place? Yeah, so this save file is an interesting save file. This must be a new county that came in the new DLC. I don't even know if we could potentially take it over. Probably not, but yeah, this save file is just kind of messed up, but it is what it is. We are just gonna let time run here. One nice thing, we can still actually raise our troops as raiders, and we are going to go and raid into the Kingdom of Navarra here, or the Malakate of Navarra. And I do believe that is because we are still a tribal ruler. I'm not actually 100% sure how we get out of being a tribal ruler to become a feudal ruler. We are of the right religion, and we have a non-tribal territory. So if I can't figure that out, somebody else can let me know that in the comments. because that would be very helpful to know. But for now, we are going to capitalize on the fact that we have the capability of raiding. And as always, if you want to join in on the raid, make sure to subscribe to the channel, become one of our warriors, and let us all take plenty of plunder back for the burgeoning kingdom here in Navarra. As I inspect the stables, my gaze is drawn towards a stallion kept away from all the others. He throws his head and stomps his hooves, displaying his powerful hindquarters and well-arched neck. This creature has the best conformations and the worst of tempers. I have never seen such a warhorse before, but the stablemaster insists that it is impossible to train. I am not one to back down from a challenge. Such a steed will fetch a hefty price, or my stablemaster will learn a lot from we are not one to back down from a challenge. I think that is pretty obvious here. The horse pins his ears back as I approach, his disregard for me crystal clear. The first meeting is important to earn his trust and respect, and I need to decide how to go about it. A steady hand is required. This will be good if we have high prowess, which we do. We will use our prowess to try to tame this beast. We also are going to switch ourselves to be the commander of the raiding army here. It is a mighty feeling. The powerful horse follows my every whim. Now that I have earned his trust, he seems almost fond of me. I will keep him as my personal warhorse. We will indeed keep him as our personal warhorse. We are essentially a landed knight. Although we haven't been knighted by any king, we are following some of those. I think that our character is inspired by some of the chivalric traditions of the Franks, and I could see us taking to horsemanship and knighthood as we kind of ingratiate ourselves with the Western Europeans more. So we are going to get a warhorse that gives us more prowess, more prestige, and we do get another martial lifestyle perk, which we will use to get the household guard. And then we are gonna go down the rest of this tree here, down to Gallant, because that I think will be helpful. We don't have any schemes going. I actually want to start a scheme, even though our spouse does already. She's already at 100. I think we want to romance her. I think we want, now that we are becoming a little bit more involved in these chivalric traditions, we obviously are very fond of our wife, but we're 25 years old. We just had a son. We have a daughter. We care a lot for this woman, I think. And, I think that Satordi himself is a little bit of a romantic at heart. So we are going to try to romance our wife here. A declaration of love. The time has come to let my feelings towards her be known. We could sing her a song. We could write her a poem. Impress her by winning a sparring match. I mean, we should probably be able to win a sparring match. I recruit one of my most senior soldiers and set out for Irun. We practice our routine after each day's ride. Once we arrive, we begin to spar in the main courtyard. A crowd gathers, and their cheers soon draw none other than the virtuous Chiefess Oneka. The soldier fights valiantly, but I disarm him with a final flawless thrust. I kneel before Oneka and declare my noble intentions. I dedicate this victory to you, my love. Bringing you your honor is my only desire. My pet is clearly speechless, but flattered. Why else would she be smiling thusly? Very good indeed. We will continue our raid here as well, and that shall be of great aid to us, bringing back treasure with which we can build and develop our country. Admiring the stallion that now follows my every command, I muse upon what to call him. A name inspired by history, Tensender, Bucephalus, Do we have any interesting... I mean, Roland didn't even actually exist in this timeline. What about mythology? Do we have any interesting ones here? The horse of King Arthur, one of Achilles. Let's pick a historical name. And I think that we shall... Okay, so we're not naming him after Roland's horse, but this is a Norse name, so Velantif. Probably pronouncing that wrong, as I always do. But that is what we shall name our horse. Essentially, we are this timeline's version of Roland, or Rollo, the Norse warlord who went on to found Normandy. Are we able to raid here? Is this... I wonder what is going on here. The raiding does not seem... Oh, because we have a truce. Alright, well, we're just gonna go and raid Alsark. I had totally forgot that we had the truce with Navarra, so we're gonna go raid Alsark. We'll see if they can... Oh, they've got some troops. 2,000. We have... Should we go into the mountains? What kind of hills, mountains? Yeah, I think it makes sense to go towards the mountains here. Can we... Oh, we're gonna be stuck here. And what is going on over there? Let's just get rid of all of this. Yeah, I should have set them so that they don't just stick with the rating. I'm actually... Okay, before this gets going, our brother Styrbjorn was murdered by Brynjolfur Snorrison. What happened here? He was murdered by a Gothi, or a Goti. Who is this guy? Okay, he is in a little independent county or chiefdom here, just south of Bjarmaland. He is a poet, a murderer, sadistic, paranoid, very interesting. So the chieftain of this land, Chieftain Uoti of the Viangi clan, murdered Styrbjorn. I mean, Styrbjorn was not a good guy. Let's just get that out of the way. He was not a good guy. The fact that he was murdered... Oh, okay, it's not independent. It is part of Bjarmaland. Oh, he was murdered by one of his own vassals. That is rough. But his son, our nephew, King Rikufir, now takes over as the king of Bjarmaland, and he finds himself in two battles. An independence war and one that he is winning. So as we can see, he is arrogant, he is sadistic, but trusting. Hopefully not too trusting after his father was just murdered. He has 5 children, and he does not seem like he's going to be much of a kinder ruler than Styrbjorn was. So we shall see what happens with Bjarmaland. Will it continue to thrive as it did under our father, King Styrkar? We shall see. That is yet to be determined. But that is none of our concern at the moment. These troops are coming in, and they are going to have to cross a river, I believe. Yeah, defending a river crossing, defending in the forest, which is advantageous to us because we do have the Forest Warriors trait. Better army commander, higher quality, more men at arms. I am actually not concerned about this fight any longer. So let them come, and the raid will finish like immediately after this battle. So let's jump in here. As you can see, it is us, the commander here, versus Emir Artal of Aragon. He is a Muad'Dib Aragonese, greedy, just, brave. He is almost like a counterpart to us. Of House Ramirez, and we shall see how well he fares against us in battle. He does outnumber us, but our troops are obviously far superior, as are our champions. And as you can see here, it does look like things are going our way. Our champion Satordi wounded the Sheikh. Our champion Yakli El was maimed, unfortunately. Our champion Nagoa was maimed. We've had a couple of our champions getting maimed here in this battle. That is unfortunate. But as you can see, we are handily defeating the enemy, and we are going to send them packing. And with that, the final blow struck. The rest of their men retreat from the battle. We slay many of their warriors as they try to run, and that gives us the win here. Let us take a look at the details of that victory. And as you can see here, the most important part being the champions, but you can see the losses, 768 to 78, 10 times as many losses as we have. I think that is a stunning victory on behalf of Satordi. That is a delicious victory there. Gretier and his retinue slaying 61 men. Obviously very powerful. We had the maiming of Ngo or Genyo. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Satari obviously was wounded as well. Yakli El was wounded. No major deaths on their side or woundings. But we still handily defeated their army. We're going to get the loot here in just a second. So there we go. Where would be the best place? We'll take some casualties if we try to raid here. I'm not keen on that. I would potentially like to go and raid Zaragoza. We should get some coin from that, and then maybe we can go and hit up this mosque. And I would love to hit up that mosque and get some raiding loot out of that, but I don't know if I want to just sacrifice 100 men due to attrition for that. Could we potentially go down here? That's probably going to give us some attrition as well. Yeah, all of those will. So we can at least raid this mosque. We captured Emir Alta, his son. How much would you pay for him? 25? I'll accept it. Oh no, Yakli El died from his injuries. As you can see, that is unfortunate. Now, I know some people are going to say, you should stop your council members from going into battle. That's not how we roll around here. Our council members join the chieftain in battle. I mean, we probably should have kept Yakli El from joining the battle, but you know, that's just how it is. Who shall we assign to be our new steward? Well, here's an interesting point. Some of you guys said that we would potentially be bringing in some more Catholic Basque people to be members of our council, and I think this is our opportunity, as we can get Mayor Gomez Vizcaya as our steward now. He's not particularly good at his job, but he is good enough at it, and that should give a little bit of Basque representation to our council, which will be important in developing those relations between the Basque people and the Nordvina, because we would like to hybridize the cultures a little bit further down the line, if it is at all possible. Okay, so how much raid loot do we have here? 60. Should we raid? Do we take the 100 losses? You know what? I think we can take 100 losses. No, we'll still be able to beat them in a fight here. I'm not too concerned about that. They're going to try to come in and attack us, and they're going to fail. We'll probably wait up here in the hills. Yeah, they're not going to have any chance of defeating us in battle, but we'll face them in battle anyways, just to show them who's boss, essentially. And that's obviously us. Our champion Valdemar was slain. Okay, well, alright. I've learned my lesson. I'm gonna forbid some of my counselors from joining in the battles, but I mean, you do want to have champions fighting in the battles. They are useful, and we don't have a ton of other people serving as champions, so let us see here. Yeah, champions. We're gonna keep him fighting in the battles. Our chancellor, he's pretty good. You're okay. We're gonna forbid the mayor from joining us in battle. Yeah, okay. Everybody else can stay in battle because they are good warriors. But yeah, now our spy master was dead. We didn't really like our spy master that much, anyways. So I'm actually not too sad about that. Who are we going to get as our new spy master? Vasa, this Ukonusko Vepsian woman, or I mean, we could get Skjolder to do it. He's not too bad actually, and he is our court tutor, treacherous lackey. I mean, a treacherous lackey sounds like a spy master to me, doesn't it? And the fact that he is kind of a semi-religious individual, he is cynical, arbitrary, but he is well learned, and he is a monk. So that is an interesting character to have as our spy master. I kind of like that. I bet the suffragan bishop Thietmar and Skjolder probably have some theological differences, if I were to hazard a little guess there. I'm actually going to switch our wife over to court politics here. That's going to be very useful. She was doing good at what she was doing before, but politics is going to be useful for us in the future here. We might as well just raid Alto Aragon on our way back. Get the 4 coins, because why not? And then we shall return home with plenty of raid loot this time. Yeah, so it's worth it to do this because we may potentially get some slaves or something here. Although I don't think we are necessarily looking to capture big hordes of slaves or anything like that, but we got a claim on Le Board. Interesting. If we swore fealty to Aquitaine, that would be very useful. And that is a possibility, but I am still considering that we may want to just remain independent. All right, we brought back, yeah, plenty of money and plenty of prestige. We are going to disband our armies here and let us continue down the courtship tree here. As you can see, that's going to give us a nice little advantage. Success chance 100. We are easily going to romance our wife here. And I like that. I like the fact that our character, who is just like an adventurer, he's like a pretty good guy. He loves this woman that he married, and now a true romance is blossoming. Like, I like that story. It's different, you know. A romance blossomed between his mother and Styrkar, but they had a much different beginning. But I think that his mother probably taught him the meaning of what love is, and thus he will attempt to seek that out himself. Anything of interest here other than Raymond dying and Valdemar dying in the battle? Not too significant. Once again, massive losses on their side. Much fewer losses on our own. So, what is going to be the next stage of our growth, our story here? I mean, obviously we would like to finish off Navarre here and basically take the kingdom of Navarra for ourselves. We could form a small kingdom. That wouldn't actually be that difficult. We just need to wait till the truce runs out, which I believe we have 8 months. Just 8 more months, and then we can conquer Navarra. Well, who is this character? Romance, glimmering gold. Sweet Lady Oneka, I sigh as I kneel before her. My only desire is to bring you honor and happiness. Pray, tell me, how can I prove my love for you? Oneka gives me a long look. Lady Uraka's necklace is lovely, she says, and nods her head in the direction of Mayor Uraka, the wife of my steward, Mayor Gomez. But it would look even better around my neck. Oh, you're a little jealous there, Oneka. Commission an identical necklace? Offer her a favor for the necklace, or compliment Oneka's taste? I think that we will offer a favor for the necklace. She can have a weak hook on us. We will say, we are the chief, and we desire this necklace. We would look favorably upon you if you were to give it to us, and they agreed. Ah! The chair you were sitting on broke, and you fell to the ground looking like a clown. We gained stress, and we could potentially be wounded from this. We were wounded. That was ridiculous, but luckily it was just a minor sprain, and our new physician took care of that handily. Somebody did point out, I can't remember if we showed it in the last episode, but we have made Skjolder our court tutor. So we do have that position filled up. An unworthy challenge. At first I thought the simple footman a fool for stepping onto the training field. Although Nabtiko seemed no threat at first, it quickly became clear that he would be unable to stop his wild and vicious strikes from hurting me. Disarming him suddenly became a matter of life and death. I tried not to show my relief when his sword finally hit the ground. Was he trying to kill us, this man? Oh, high prowess. Brave, wrathful, callous, tough soldier. Should we have him join our court? He is a great warrior. This peasant will get a lecture on honor. I will strike him down where we stand. No. I think we are impressed by Nabtiko. He is a Catholic Nordvina. He is one of the Nordvina people who, one of our warriors, probably one of our Bondi, one of our Huskarls, who converted to Catholicism along with us. So, yeah, we could use more people like you. We could use the warrior. That is for sure. There was one thing that I wanted to do before we finish this event off, and that was to get my friend. I did want to have you convert to Catholicism. So we will ask our friend Gretir to convert. By God, Chiefess Oneka is an insufferable fiend. What? Excuse me? Have you seen how she furrows her brow? Ridiculous. My suffragan Bishop Thietmar throws his head back with a wicked laugh. Oneka is still conversing with her friend, but I can tell she hurt him. I hate to see her hurt. Wow. This guy just besmirched Our Lady's honor. Violize, draw your sword? Yeah. I think that we should, how is there a 36% chance that he defeats us in the duel? You should apologize to the lady? Oh, he couldn't be more wrong? Try your sword. Are we going, oh, you know what? So, I think that Satordi's initial reaction would be, draw your sword, bastard. But we did just recently convert to the Catholic faith, and I can't see a situation in which we would ask the bishop of our land to fight us in a duel. I think we will attempt to have him apologize to the lady. He refuses to listen, and he has stopped endorsing us, so we are on bad terms with our bishop. I wonder if there's anything that we will be able to do about it. Imprison him? No, I mean, we don't have any reason to. But we don't like him. We don't like our bishop anymore. He insulted our wife. He refuses to listen. You know, he probably doesn't like us because we were in Nordvina. We converted over from a pagan religion. So, yeah, I don't think that he is really a big fan of Satordi, nor are we a fan of him. I should point out we do have our daughter, I believe, learning the Basque language. So that should be helpful. I am attending a dance in Irun to spend some time with Chiefess Oneka. The mere thought of touching hands makes my heart jump. I mean, we're married. We've touched more than hands, but when I arrive, I find her stuck in a conversation with my steward, Mayor Gomez. The heartless man drones on and on. We're basically just saving our wife, or attempting to save our wife, from our horrible, annoying council members. That's basically this entire romance plot here. I will take her place. Better I suffer than her. Enough, you are boring the lady to death. I'm not going anywhere near him. No, I think we're just going to call him out. We are a blunt man. You are boring the lady to death. Stop bugging my wife. Just go and do your job. This mayor. Like, come on now. What's going on over here? You've been in prison, Count Guillaume. Interesting. A little bit of inner fighting here. We're just going to take a quick peek at our brothers while the time goes on here. Frothy still doing what Frothy does. He hasn't really conquered more, but he does have a big alliance with Connacht. And that is very advantageous to him. They're a powerful country with a lot of allies themselves. Clan Ivering, the descendants of the Viking leaders that have set sail and conquered this land. Bjarmaland, Bjarmaland is in a war of tyranny. No surprise there. Will he be able to win? He is going up against the Jarl of Ustjug. Oh, he's going up against our brother, Chieftain Vigfus, who is actually an aspiring Blademaster, Berserker, Pilgrim. Disputed heritage, of course, but interesting. Our younger brother is joining in this rebellion against his nephew. Very, very interesting. He's a good man. Holy crap, he is a strong warrior too. Look at this guy. He is a very good warrior. Our younger brother, actually. He may not even be related to us by blood, but he is a good warrior. And then Pudos, I believe. Yeah, Nordvina here. Interesting. I wonder if they will be able to survive that. And then, of course, our brother here in Moesia, who seems to be attacking Bulgaria here to conquer this county, and seems to be doing so successfully. That is interesting to see how that will play out. And Reyreker Visilkason of House Vasily is continuing to be loyal for now to the Stjarna dynasty. So, yeah, our brothers are continuing to do what the Stjarna brothers do. When Chiefess Oneka suggested a hunt, I did not hesitate to organize one. I would do anything for a mere glimpse of my songbird. I'm stalking through the underbrush, my page at my heel, and my hound just ahead. It seems as if I have found a trail. Then, suddenly, my concentration is shattered by a woman's scream. I'm coming for you, my love. I go ahead with my attempt. Perhaps it would be wiser to send a page. Ridiculous. It was probably just a bird. Also ridiculous. No, we will go to save our love. And let us hopefully be successful. Within what must have been a minute, but felt like an hour, I reached a clearing. Oneka is on the ground before me, disheveled and weaponless. Opposite her, and just about to strike, stands a huge bear. Little secret here. I don't like bears in real life. I saw a bear when I was a kid, when I was camping, and it scared me. So the fact that a gigantic bear is attacking her, that's pretty scary. So my arrow strikes true and the beast falls to the ground. For a moment, all Oneka can do is stare, but then she stumbles towards me and throws herself into my loving arms. I need you, my love. Right here and right now, she becomes our soulmate. We will lay together here in the grass, and we will Yeah, no, we're taking that option. That sounds like the fun option here. So, yeah, we saved our love, and she shows us her affection, and she is our soulmate. She is our soulmate, and that is pretty amazing news. But no surprise. I think I think we've known this whole campaign that Oneka is our soulmate. So, as you can see, our truce with Navarra is over. They do have an ally, but 351 troops. There is nothing to do here but to declare war. We shall conquer the duchy. But the question is, should we do a holy war? Should we do a holy war? It would make it a little bit more interesting, and I am all for interesting. So I think we will declare a holy war, and I think there is a roleplay reason for this. The reason is that we have converted to Catholicism. We made the deal with Aquitaine. We now consider the Pope to be our grand religious leader, and I think we need to prove that by taking a holy war to the Emirate of Navarra. And part of this is because we want to become the King of Navarra, and what better way to show our legitimacy, our royal legitimacy, than by leading a holy war. So that is what we are going to do. So yeah, just gonna make sure, yeah, everything's good here. We will declare that war, and we will see what happens in the next episode. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.